Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to take another look at Mr. Fantastic because unlike the other combat tier 3s, I haven't really given him another chance to shine since the November update forced the strikers to do one skill, which I honestly now think, looking back on it, is going to be the biggest power creep in Marvel Future Fight ever. So I want to see how much better Mr. Fantastic is. I didn't feature him in my top 5 clears for 95 to 99 of Proxima. Some people were like, man, he can do it. In the meantime, some people like Forgo Nation, I believe, have tried to do or succeeded in doing very high stages of Mr. Fantastic, even without a CTP of Rage. So I want to see what mine can do. This is the preferred team up for him, just so you know, if you want the absolute maximum carnage and savagery from Old Stretch. He's got the 65% lead, he's got the whatever max HP all defense from him and Thing, but more importantly, tier 2 Thing is going to give him 10% HP with the uniform. You know you want that, or sorry, 15% HP. Hoo-wee! But then you've got that Family Man passive with the 40% all attack and the super armor. So no guard break is going to happen. Not that we're going to need to get guard broken because we have invincibility now. But then White Fox is also going to drop another 60% increased damage to supervillains on top of immunity to fear and all attack. So that plus his 65, like he's rocking 115% all attack and 60% damage to supervillains, which is crazy. So we are almost, and maybe I'll throw some Odin's Blessing on him one day to push it over, but we are almost at 60,000 physical attack, which is absolutely disgusting. He is just a monster. And the interesting thing with Mr. Fantastic that I want to explore today relates to another video topic that I want to do for a separate video about sort of the differences and what we can see in different striker combos versus, you know, in the sense of like versus free-to-play versus sort of rare strikers. We won't say paywall strikers, we'll say rare strikers. Because with Rubber Drill, with the new uniform, with the Future Foundation uniform and Rubber Drill, you get that accumulation. But in order to get that accumulation, you have to forego Rachel Summers, Apocalypse, Scarlet Witch. You can't have those characters on your team because they will mind control the boss, whether it's Proxima or Thanos or whoever, and then they will disrupt that buff. And that buff is huge. It's a very high buff that he gets because it's a 5% increase for each 1% of damage taken. So he gets at least a 50% attack bonus if my math is correct. So that is pretty crazy to stack a 50% attack bonus on top of his almost 60,000 physical attack. Yeah, by my math, he's rolling up into the 80,000s of physical attack with that. So we're going to take him into some content now, and I specifically want to focus on using different strikers, but I want to go really high right off the bat and see what happens, and then we'll dial it down a little bit and we'll do it with different strikers that you're probably more used to seeing on your own roster. So here we go, stage 99, and right off the bat you're going to notice that I'm not using Captain America with Weapon Hex for this combo. The reason for that is you want to get hit as Mr. Fantastic, but in wanting to get hit, you're going to get into a situation where Captain America might actually jump out before Weapon Hex, since you want to trigger the buff from his third skill. And so in that case, we're going to pop the tier 3. In that case, what's going to happen is, there we go. Yes. What happens with Captain America and Weapon Hex when you use Mind Control Strikers is fine. Because you use Mind Control Strikers so the boss is not moving anyways. So Cap only comes out when it's time to do the co-op skill. So that works perfectly. So using Cap and Weapon Hex and Mind Control Strikers is a great combo. However, when you don't have Mind Control Strikers, like in this situation, what ends up happening is Cap is going to come out. He could come out, anyways. We don't know for sure, but he could come out midway when I'm trying to, you know, fill up the accumulation on the third skill, because that third skill requires me to get hit. And when I get hit, of course, it triggers the when attacked strikers. So you have that problem, and you have that sort of lack of sync going on. The characters can fall out of sync with each other. So here we're going to do 3, cancel that into... Yeah, see, that didn't even... Canceling it didn't even work. But the reason why we bring in Deadpool is because Deadpool does provide all defense down, and Deadpool has a much lower ceiling than Weapon Hex, but he applies, I believe, 15 per hit. Now, the problem with Deadpool, I think, unlike Captain America, is Deadpool is a little bit more inconsistent. He's a little bit more inconsistent in the sense that sometimes he fills up the bar really well, as you saw from that first co-op skill that we did. and sometimes he doesn't. So we're actually probably not on pace to clear stage 99 right now. If the second co-op had been like the first one, we would have got it. But the problem here is that Deadpool's all defense down is 10 seconds and Weapon Hex's is 5 seconds. So you can get some inconsistency there. And that's what's so good about the Captain America Weapon Hex combo. They are both 5 seconds. So if they're if they start off in sync, they should theoretically stay in sync, because Weapon Hex will come in when Captain America doesn't come in because the boss is mind controlled, not hitting you. And then when you press the co-op, they both jump in, but Weapon Hex has been there the whole time. The problem with Mr. Fantastic is you need to get hit. You can rely on the poison clouds, but it's just not going to work as effectively as Proxima hitting you. One hit from Proxima on stage 99 does so much damage that that's going to fill up your accumulation right away, because it's a maximum of 10% of your HP. But if you look at his HP, right, he's got 60,000, right? 62,000 HP. So I have to take at least 6,000 damage from the poison clouds, and I believe they only do like 5,000 damage per hit. So I'm going to have to stand in 3 of those poison clouds for like 4 seconds, because it'll be 1,500 damage per, right? So I'm going to have to stand there after pressing the third skill for like 5 seconds. This is not going to work. I'm not going to accumulate it fast enough. So this is where some of the lack of value, and this is where some people think that, or they get the impression that Mr. Fantastic is not very good, because he just doesn't slot in with the current meta for strikers, and he just doesn't synergize as well with them. It would be like trying to clear World Boss with Captain America Tier 3, trying to do most of the damage on your Tier 3 skill. It's impossible. You mean, not only does the skill only come up every 20 seconds, but the skill is just super unwieldy, and relying on the accumulation just does not work. Even if the skill was available every 5 seconds, people wouldn't use the Tier 3 skill because it's just inconsistent. You can get guard broken, you might not accumulate and do 0 damage. There's just too much to time, there's too much to get in sync, which is kind of the same thing with Mr. Fantastic. But what if we tried it with different strikers? So boys, turns out I was wrong. I tried Deadpool, I tried Invisible Man, I tried Slapstick, I tried Swordmaster, I tried Taskmaster, Goliath, Arrow, nothing worked. The only thing that works very consistently is, of course, Captain America. So we're right back where we started, and yeah, I for one am honestly in a way not surprised. But yeah, here we go. It's too consistent. There's no point. There's no point in trying something out. I mean, honestly, Minerva wasn't even working at all. I was shocked at how little Minerva worked. Deadpool obviously works a little bit, but the only problem with this strategy in general, and the thing that makes Mr. Fantastic, I think, a little bit worse than some other characters, is you actually have to play. And I think that's what I think that's what people just are worried about doing. They're like, oh man, I actually have to play the boss, but he hits really hard, as you can see. So there is no doubt in my mind, like, this dude is ripping and running. So screw you, Crescent. I'm on to you. And your little you and your bear and your games. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that yeah, she's way better. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do co-op 3 and then 6. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Woo! Easy 3-4 bars. So he just completely mangles this stage. Look at the time. Look at the time, boys. I was wrong. Captain America, Hydra Supreme, still our god. Unfortunately, I could not make it work. And so with that being said, I will not give you guys my... I have to press this or I'll die. Okay, good. If I didn't get the immunity up, I would have died. Oh, I'm going to die in a minute. No! You can't kill me. Co-op. Kill her. It's not going to work this time. Yeah, so you are still going to run into... I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that I made that mistake. You are still going to run into issues with Captain America. And this is sort of where... things that I said, I mean, I was wrong to say that there's someone better than Captain America, or to think that there was someone better than Captain America or more consistent, but I was still right in everything that I said about the accumulation and getting hit and the being out of sync, and that they can fall out of synchronicity with each other, because that's what happened just there. Somewhere in between me pressing the co-op skill and hitting the tier 3 skill, Captain America jumped in and did his all defense first, and that's why the damage was so garbage. But you saw me doing like 3-4 bars per tier 3 with the co-op skill done correctly, which is when there's nothing going on, and then Weapon Hex comes in, and then Cap comes in right after her, yada, yada, yada. You know how the story goes. But you will have that inconsistency for sure from time to time, and so it may take a couple of attempts, on top of the fact that you have to dodge Proxima's attacks. You have to be careful of the Purifying Wind. I never thought I would actually say that, but the Purifying Wind is actually pretty scary because, and here we're going to have, we had another mistake. So we've had two, we've had two back-to-back bad co-op skills. But it's good to show you the other side for those of you that are like, what am I doing wrong? You're not really doing anything wrong. It's just that with characters like this who need the accumulation, they can get hit the hardest. Now, you saw the bar move a little bit there, kind of suspiciously. That was just the luck of them comboing together. So there's Captain America coming in and kind of ruining what we're trying to do here. But, you know, you're not doing anything. Wow, we're going to get 4 in a row. Wow. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just that sometimes these characters have sort of anti-synergy with, there's Purifying Wind. They have anti-synergy with the new striker changes. But this should be the end here. Or not. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing wrong anymore. I didn't think there was any all defense down, but somehow Captain America decided to screw me over. This went from a 1.5 minute clear. Let me just tell you guys, with 3 minutes and a half, I was at 6 bars. So in the last 2 minutes, I've gotten less than 2 bars down. So I don't know what kind of effery is going on right now. There's some Netmarble voodoo at work, sort of cursing me. I had this problem as well with Crescent, where the first like 9 bars of Proxima down to 6 or down to 7 would fly, and then she would become like shadow immune to all defense down, and the all defense down would stack, but it wouldn't do any damage. So you're not doing anything wrong. This happens to the best players. This happens to players with the highest attack and the most, you know, perfect strikers. Even when you combo it properly, I really thought that last co-op skill was gonna work. I don't know what the hell went wrong. I have to go back and watch that frame by frame, but she had no all defense down on her, so it should have been picture perfect, right? Maybe we shouldn't be doing co-op 3. We should be doing 3 into co-op. The problem with doing 3 into co-op is you lose all of the accumulation, because when he does the co-op skill, he does the he does the giant palm, and then there's no hits because you're in an iframe. So that's why I was doing co-op and then canceling his co-op into the 3rd skill. Maybe that's doing something to interrupt Captain America and Weapon Hex. Who knows? It didn't do that the first 2 times when he did massive damage. So I am a little bit frustrated, and I think that's why people are not that high on Mr. Fantastic, because like Crescent, he seems to be inconsistent at times. But man, when he hits the damage, it's crazy, and it's way higher than Crescent. He's doing like 4 or 5 bars easy with that co-op. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that. Hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.